Hey everybody, welcome to day 13 of the Take Back Your Life 40-day video journey. Thinking right, 40 days to thinking right so that you can live right.
Awesome.
Almost got it all the way through that time. I'm telling you, I don't know what the deal is. I probably should write that down and tape it right up here under the camera so that I know.
I wouldn't be able to see it today.
Yeah, you're not wearing your glasses or your contacts.
No.
So I could be making all kinds of funny faces at her and she would never know.
Are you?
I don't know, am I?
I have no idea. I think we just went over that.
So here we are, 13 days in, 1/3 of the way through our 40 days. I hope it's going well for you. Are you enjoying it?
Yes, this is our second time through, and it is amazing because we're getting the perspective of the kids. We're helping them to be able to talk about some of these hard things that we've talked about the last 13 days.
Yeah, it's a little hard for the kids because, this book is written for adults. I mean, you can just sort of tell that, by the time you become an adult, that's almost to midlife, which I think I'm probably almost to midlife. I don't think I'm quite there yet. And you develop a lot of stupid habits. And so, you can read this book and you can go, oh, yeah, I remember when I did this or when I did that. You take a 15, 16, 17-year-old kid, they don't have quite the opportunity for as many screw-ups at this point in their life. So,
well, and they've been raised in a house with probably
amazing parents.
Well, they say that we're strict, but with a little bit more structure than they see around them. And so for them, I think that they feel like, okay, we're sheltered. We don't know anything that you're talking about, which is good and bad.
It's good and bad. But today we're going to be talking about pain as a microphone. And a microphone by design is meant to amplify a sound. In this case, it's amplifying our voice. It's amplifying it into the mixing device, which then gets it onto the video. It does it also in live environments. So if you're in a concert or a big building that has a PA system, the microphone amplifies the voice so that more people can hear what it is that you're saying. And so that's what Pastor talks about with today's reading. The verse for today is 1 Thessalonians 3, chapter 3, verse 3. No one should be shaken by these afflictions, for you yourselves know that we are appointed to this. The afflictions that come at us, trials, hurts, adversity, stuff like that.
The bumps along the road.
Yeah. And so it's saying that we are appointed for this. We are prepared for this. Why? Because God takes everything and turns it for his good. And we just have to be willing to make the choice to go along with him. So he opens up talking about William Wallace. If you are about my age, and you'll just have to guess at what that is, you remember the movie Braveheart. Did you see Braveheart?
I've seen pieces of Braveheart, never the whole thing, I don't think.
Okay, well, we need to stop this video right now so she can go watch Braveheart, and then we'll finish the video.
Okay.
I don't know. Then this video would be late because that movie is long. However, William Wallace was he uses the term almost mythical, but a very popular man. And what gained him his popularity, do you know?
It was his wife was killed, and then he decided that things needed to stop, and he was going to change things.
Yeah, and he went forward with reckless abandon. I mean, there was no talking him out of what he was going to achieve, and that was to get out of the oppression of the English at that time. And so he fought with anything and everything. He fought till his very last breath, trying to free his countrymen. And that was all brought on basically by one event. Mm-hmm. So there are events in all of our lives that we can look at that are painful events, cause us great hurt, that give us a new perspective on things. And, for some of us, at least in our case, April and I, that happens to be the fact that we've been divorced before. We are a blended family, and we believe that, sort of our calling is to encourage other blended families, because coming through divorce, finding yourself, getting yourself healed, and then remarriage in a blended family, it's not easy.
It's not easy. And we use the, what is it, a metaphor? Or, I don't know. He's the English guy. I'm the math person. Where whenever you get into a first marriage, it's kind of like a crock pot. You're putting everybody in, so your family and my family going into the crock pot, and we're going to be able to just simmer and get everything mixed together, all the flavors, before kids come along. And in a second marriage, it is much different. It's like an Instant Pot. You put your family, my family, our kids' other family, other spouses, the ex-spouses, all into this pressure cooker, and it's either going to explode or it's going to be really amazing. And we have had the best of both worlds in this entire 12 years. We've had explosions, and we've had figuring out how God has got it all together to where it's amazing. And now we have a microphone. We have the ability to say, we've been through this, and this is how God got us through. And both of us can say, it was not me, it was not him, it was God. And people that have been with us through our entire story, they know it was not us, it was God.
And that's what pain can do for you whenever you don't, I'm going to use the term give in. Probably not the best choice of word, but when we don't give in to what it is that the devil tries to use to throw us off course, right? So one of the things that Pastor talked about today was the fact that his pain that he endured with his wife, Jenny, during the passing of their daughter, was the fact that there were some doors open for him that he would not have been able to open otherwise. People were exposed to the gospel of Jesus because of ministering through the pain. And that's, I think, what April and I have tried to do, and what we're hoping that you take out of this is that when you experience pain, once you sort of get past the initial shock and you gather yourself and are able to stand on your feet for just a moment, then you can begin to look at what God wants to do through that, rather than just be in that sort of a woe is me mindset, right?
Yes. And we will say that there is a difference in trying to help somebody when you're wounded and trying to help somebody whenever you have a scar. Whenever you're wounded, it's still fresh, and it's not necessarily going to be something that you're able to help somebody else with yet. That's what he's talking about. Once you get through the healing process and it's a scar, you can look back and say, see the scar, but I made it, and here's the things. So there is definitely a different period there. So you need to make sure, am I still wounded, or am I through, and I know that God is calling me to help other people that were where I was.
And that's a beautiful thing when you can share your experience, because if there's one thing that I've learned in my lifetime is the fact that we are all the same. And if I'm struggling with something, there's a very high probability that the people that I'm around, the people that I associate with, are going through some of those very same things. And so rather than live in the shame of, well, I must be the only one that feels this way or thinks this way or acts this way, you're very surprised to find that there are many, many people around you that think and act and feel the exact same way. And whenever we're vulnerable enough, we talked about the other day, when we have our lenses on that we're focused on heavenly things, it gives us an opportunity to share with someone else an impact that can change their life forever.
I feel like we're going over a theme, the vulnerability and being able to share and see things differently.
It's like this book was put together on purpose.
So Something like that.
So, and then, I don't want to skip over the fact that there are times that you're going to help people, that you're going to impact people with your story that you don't even know. You may never realize that the way that you carry yourself, the way that you speak, the way that you worship, the way that you praise through the pain, it will impact people that you may not ever know this side of heaven. Pastor talked about in the reading today about the people that don't necessarily know your story, don't necessarily know much about you other than maybe you follow Jesus to some degree, and whenever they see, there's pain in your life and your power source has been cut off, they want to see if you glow. Mm-hmm. They see if you actually live out the things that you're saying about who Jesus is.
Or are you overcome by darkness?
That darkness gets a lot of people, and it's not an easy thing to shed, but that's the point of why we go through these books, right? We want to change our thinking so that whenever they do come, we're able to push through and let God use us in new and exciting ways.
I think you have a good example of being able to share your story with people that you'll never know by linking the blended group from Life Church in the comments below. Don't you do that at night or whenever you're editing this?
Yeah, I can put it in there.
Yeah.
That was awkward. So the reason that was awkward is because a little earlier in the video, in a piece that I've cut out of this, she made me start over because I had to clear my throat. And then I noticed that as she's clearing her throat, well, we're just going to keep going.
No, we can absolutely start over.
Well, we're not. That's the beauty of being the editor of these clips. I get to choose.
You're so nice.
I know. I'm a good husband. You understand why this pressure cooker thing's coming into a little more focus. But let your pain be a microphone to the things that God's doing in you. Don't give up on God at the first sign of trouble. I'm sorry. If you remember, she doesn't have her contacts in, and so as I'm trying to speak to you, she's picking the book up, doing this, trying to read. Threw me off. Honey, I love you. Just sit there and look pretty for the rest of the video. Anyway, let's get out of here because this is going downhill fast. Tomorrow we'll be back with day 14. And we want to remind you guys to make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you ding the bell so that you get a notification whenever any video goes live, whether it's one of these videos or any of the other videos that we've done. But we sure appreciate that you take the time to be a part of what it is we're doing right here. We want to make sure that we are ready to step into 2021 thinking right so that we can live right. You guys have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow on day 14.